Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Powerful on Purpose, where we talk to amazing, brilliant women who are using their story to build businesses and create missions and really joining hands to solve some of the world's problems. Because, I firmly believe if women been driving the bus, we'd be in a whole different situation. And today I'm super excited to welcome the guest because she does something really interesting that personally resonates with me in the sense of combining cooking and creativity. So today's guest is Elisa Irvolino, and she is a Latina lifestyle creator, cultural educator, and the founder of Sazón and Corazón, where she helps women reconnect with themselves through cooking, creativity, and heritage. And like when you think about it, what a beautiful combination, right? She is also the co-host of the 200% Latina podcast, where she explores with her daughter identity, family, and modern Latina life across generations. So welcome, Elisa.
Thank you so much for having me today, Leslie. It's an honor to get to know you.
It's a pleasure. And when we met, not only does she look fabulous in red, folks, but you got talking about this idea of cooking and combining creativity, which I super love. One of my favorite things is cook multiple things, right? At the same time with music and make it like this whole experience of all the senses. So tell us the story of what led you to create a business around that.
Sure. Well, honestly, I'd say for me, I had like two pivotal turning points. So the first one was I went to a Latina event right here on Long Island, and I was like, oh my God, after like 20 something years, I realized, wow, there's a lot of other Latinas raising multicultural children in this suburbia, right? So I didn't have to do it alone. I could now have new friends, and I thought that my whole problem was being disconnected from culture, and now I could solve that. The problem with that is that then you're relying on outside influences to really validate who you are. And what I came to realize after working with the life coach is that it really wasn't about being disconnected to culture, but it was being disconnected to myself. Yes, culture is a big part of my life. I am Latina. I do love Latin music, food, all of it. And I was missing all of that. And that is true. But I was also missing the parts of myself, the parts that were, what happened to that woman that used to be creative and fun? Like all of a sudden she wasn't there anymore. Because as Latinos, we're taught to like give and serve and everyone else first. But how can you really do that, Leslie, when you're pouring from an empty cup? We have to connect with ourselves. And a lot of that, I believe, is in the arts and in creativity and just taking time for yourself to do something that's just for you, and maybe that'll benefit everyone else because I am cooking for my family, but am I doing it as a chore or am I doing it to be creative? Am I putting my bachatas on and my merengues, my dancing? Am I having fun with it? That's what it came to me. And I decided that I was going to help other women do the same.
I love that. Yeah. Because I think there is something super creative in cooking, right? All the sensory stuff. And we get stuck in that box too of thinking like we got to eat. We're just going to get it over with instead of enjoying that process. So how do you introduce that idea of bringing cooking and creativity together? You mentioned a couple things because you do in-person and online events, right?
Yes. So in person, I try to make it, I'm not there to just teach a cooking class. I'm not there to just give you like specific ingredients and this is the way it's going to be. No, we're there. I call it like a very bougie experience. I decorate the room. I want all your senses. With cooking, it's easy because you have taste, you have smell, but you also have sight and listening. I put music on during my classes. Like it really is an immersive experience. And so I try to tell the classmates that they're not there for a class. They're not classmates. They're just like my family. We're sitting around a table. We're cooking together. We're going to enjoy this delicious meal together and we're going to all get creative. I don't have to tell you how much salt to put in your food. That's like something if you cook with love for your family or for yourself, it's going to come naturally to you. You just need a little guidance from me. That's all.
And maybe that encouragement to tap
Yeah.
into that inner creativity, inner muse, whatever you would call it.
Yeah, it's giving yourself permission to enjoy it is really the trick.
right? Exactly. And then how does that look online for people?
So online, I've been loving it. So the virtual community, I called it the Casita on purpose because, again, I don't want to be a teacher. I'm not here to be a talking head. I am here to be like your encouraging aunt. We say you're coming into your tia's house. We're going to cook together. Maybe you're going to teach me something. I'm going to teach you something. We are creating together. Come sit at my kitchen table, or let's go out in the patio and talk there. Let's go in the living room. All my activities are focused in different rooms of this casita, right? So it's been wonderful. I've been sharing culture, recipes, all kinds of things with other people, music. And it's not only for Latinas. The best part for me has been that I have had people of other cultures come in, cook with me from other states, and we're cooking the same Latin meal together. And now that's something that they've added to their repertoire and they cook it every week. So it's just wonderful to share culture with other people. And I learn from them as much as they learn from me. So it's been really a family and it's amazing.
Right? It is a true sense of community is that give and take and that we're all coming together to lift each other up. Right. Very cool. As you were talking, what is one spice that I won't say your favorite one, but one spice that you use a lot that we, the listeners, should be using more of?
I'm going to tell you a trick. It's my secret to all my cooking. It's not just one spice, but it's one paste. You hear a lot of people talk about sofrito, and that's great. Sofrito's great, not knocking it, but I don't use that. What I make, I call it my Dominican sazon. Super simple. You're just going to use garlic, oregano, and salt. 3 ingredients. That's it. You blend them in the food processor or a blender or mash it up by hand, whatever you want. You keep that in the refrigerator. That is the base to all my cooking. So you're doing chicken, go ahead, rub that all over your chicken with some lime juice. You're good to go. You're doing steak, rub it on your steak. You're making a stew, beans, a little teaspoon. I promise you that all your food will be delicious, nothing complicated. Add 1 little teaspoon to everything you're cooking. Everything then won't all taste the same like it does with sofrito because then you can vary. Maybe I'm putting onions in this part, maybe I'm putting peppers here. It's okay. But the base of the garlic and the oregano and salt can be the same through all of it and it will still taste different. So that's
Oh,
my secret.
I love that secret, right? And I use those spices, well, not so much of the salt, but yeah. So I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very
And
cool.
then I find that you use less salt because then I don't add salt to my cooking, right? It's mixed in that paste, but it's not a lot of sodium because I'm not pouring salt onto it. It already has so much flavor. I don't need extra salt.
Exactly. And I think those three things really pull out flavors, do they not?
Yes.
In my limited
Yes.
knowledge of spices, I think they're ones that really enhance and not so
Yes.
overpowering like basil, right? That everything tastes like
Right.
basil.
Which is
Very, very cool.
why, like, the cilantro in sofrito is the same way. It's overpowering. I don't want all my food to taste like cilantro. So that's why I stay away from that and I just use this paste.
Yeah. Ooh, all right, everybody. I hope you wrote that down or listen to this part again. We're
Yeah.
all going to get some cooking. So talk about this idea too of because I think you were talking about like combining cooking and vision boards, like creativity that's all tapping into that creative part of us that so many people I think ignore. We got to be business focused or business or whatever it is. And I think there's absolutely some benefit to incorporating that in to our business and our lives.
Yes, I think that it makes you more of a whole person, right? We are not just a business owner. We're not just a mom. We're not just a wife. You know, where's Leslie? What is the creative part of her? And the time that you take to nurture any creativity, whether that's doing vision boards, I've done tequila bottle painting classes, wine bottle painting classes, floral arranging, anything, setting your table pretty, how to decorate for holidays, any classes like that, any bougie experiences, brunches that I hold, they're all to embrace the creative side of yourself, the feminine side, the side that we ignore that I learned so much from that life coach was embracing that feminine side. Because at the end of the day, that's where you started. You're a woman. And when you ignore those parts of you because you're hustle and bustle and you have to be the best at everything, I think that parts of us tend to just die off and you're not like that really whole beautiful person that you used to be.
Yeah, exactly. I love the way you described that. And it made me think that when we talked earlier, you also said that you're the Latina Martha Stewart because you like, right? That beauty and how do we create that in our lives in a creative manner that really appeals to all our senses.
Yeah, that's what my friends always called me, so I went with it. And the beauty of it is it's not perfection. It's really about what appeals to you. What do you find beautiful? It may be just simple tulips on the table. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. You don't have to be extra talented. I'm no more talented than everyone else. It's just about stop for a second and think about you and what you love.
Right. Right. Exactly. And coming back to that, filling up your own cup or filling up your own plate, right? So that your
Yes.
plate is beautiful and you offer that to other people. Talk to us a little bit about the podcast because this is a super cool project you and your daughter are working on.
Yeah, so we just renamed it to 200% Latina. And it really resonates with me because my story, which no one can really take away your story, my story is that I am 100% Latina. I am first generation in this country. So that also makes me 100% American, right? And where do you draw the line? We're also focused. We don't want to lose our Latina culture. We want to pass that down to our children. But in a modern world where I'm married to an Italian, my daughter's married to Irish, like we're all a blended family now. How do you embrace both sides of it without losing yourself or ignoring the other side, right? We're partners here now. We're raising these children and how do we embrace both sides? How do we speak about our what's going on in current history right now, or even our music, our arts, everything that is Latina, but also embrace the American side as well. So we've kind of done tit for tat, younger generation, older generation. So it really spans across all generations and culture.
Such important topics that I think we don't think about as much as we should, or that get buried under the current things that are going on, right? But this idea really of who we are, recognizing, honoring our heritage, and bringing it along with us. I think we had talked about that. That's what I find is so important about books as well. It's that way to
Yes.
create that legacy and that heritage. Yeah. So we'll put the link for Elisa's show as well in the show notes. And so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what I'm hearing you say too is it's this idea of empowering Latina women, women in general, to step up and recognize what makes us unique, one, within our story, right? But then how do we move that into the world and be creative with it?
Yes. So it's really about connecting. If you go back to it, connecting with myself, right? So my story is I'm a Latina, right? So I want to honor that, but I'm also living in a modern American world. So I need to honor that as well. So it's really about connecting with who I am. When you do that, when you take it down, instead of complicating it with everything that's going on all over the world and he said, she said, just take it back to yourself. Start right here. Start with connecting with yourself, with taking time every single day, just a few minutes a day to connect with yourself and really think about what you want for your life, for your family, for do you meditate? What are your beliefs? Take the time for yourself. That will in turn help you honor those parts of yourself and share it with others.
Yeah.
But you can't do that if you don't know who that is.
Right? I totally agree. I'm with you 100%. Is really saying stop to all the noise and being a little bit reflective about who we are and what we want and what we want to create in the world, right? Because what I see you creating is a place of beauty, a community where people can come in and feel at home and be vulnerable, but also be safe, right?
Yes.
Wherever they're entering at.
Yes, for
Exactly.
sure. That's what I want is just a safe community where you can come in and I don't care where you are on your journey. Maybe you're Latina, maybe you're not Latina, maybe you don't speak Spanish, maybe you do. It's okay. I'm not here to judge you. I want you to just feel comfortable sharing with us. coming in whenever you want, every day, once a month, whenever you need us, we're here for you. And we're going to help each other. That's what I want. It's just a safe community, not so toxic like you see if you just focus on social media and you're doom scrolling. This is not like that. This is like, "Hmm, let's sit down. You want to have a drink, have some food, and then we'll talk about things. You're going to want to get comfortable. That's what it is.
Exactly. Well, I was wishing I was living a little bit closer to you so that I could, like, come over and have some food, right? Because as much as I
That's
love to
okay.
cook, right? Yeah, I just as
We'll
soon
do it
eat,
virtually. That's okay.
and then you'll waft the fumes towards me, the smells
Yes.
towards me.
Talk about that smell-o-vision. We need that.
Mm, right, right?
Yes.
That yeah,
Yes.
literally that sometimes is why I cook for the smell, and there've been a couple times where I love to cook things, smell freaking amazing. Food,
Yes.
meh, not so much, right? I'm not sure why that's a disconnect, but, so I know you have a free gift for people. Do you wanna go ahead and explain that?
So the Casita community, like we talked about, is my house. I'm inviting you into my house. So what the free gift is 30 days to come on in, check it out. No pressure. You don't want to continue, no problem. I think that you will because you'll love it. We do have live cooking classes twice a month. Once a month, we have our family community meeting, which this month is going to be learning how to do mocktails ready
Ooh,
for summer. Next month, we're doing our first annual Women's Summit, which is for the modern Latina. Every single day for a week, we're going to have a different person come in and teach us something, have a talk with us. So there's a lot that goes on in this house. And you got 30 days. This is the best 30 days because you'll catch that summit still in time. So it's a perfect time to join.
yes, it is a perfect time to join. Absolutely. So, and those will also be in the show notes. So, one last question. If you were to look back at yourself at an earlier age, what would you tell that woman about where you're going to end up right now?
Well, first, I would tell her how much she's loved, right? That although she may not have known it back then, she was loved and she continues to be loved. And she should feel love for herself before anything else. Second, I would say it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You start where you are. Nobody's expecting perfection from you. It's okay. Share your voice with the world. Everybody needs to hear it. There are people that will resonate with it and find what you have valuable.
I love that, especially that love part, right? I think we gloss over that or forget or get in
Mm.
situations that it doesn't feel like we are. Super powerful. Well, you have been a delight. I'm so pleased that you could spend time with my audience and share your wisdom as well as your love of cooking and the little spice tip.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me, Leslie. It's been so fun chatting with you.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, be sure and subscribe because you do not want to miss more powerful conversations from purposeful women like Elisa that are really building communities, businesses, and missions around supporting women and other people.
Bye.